All right, Steve, thanks so much. Can you imagine making $84,000 in 1 year just in overtime? Well, that's what one police officer in Rotterdam did last year, and it doubled his salary. One of his bosses made 57 grand in overtime. In fact, all of the highest paid employees in Rotterdam are police officers who have put in for hundreds and hundreds of hours in overtime. Jennifer Lukey looked into this. She has a breakdown of the numbers, an explanation of how the town justifies them, and a look at how Rotterdam compares to other departments when it comes to overtime costs.
The department says the officer who doubled his salary with OT, his sergeant, and other top earners were all working on a high-profile investigation that ultimately led to the arrest of these three people, all accused of throwing explosive devices at a local home. But to get to this point, the officers had to get subpoenas, tap phone lines, perform 24/7 surveillance, and that amounted to a lot of overtime.
I'm not trying to minimize this, but I think it was a case of significance of need. It was probably the most significant from a person power investment case that's ever been done in Rotterdam.
That one case has cost Rotterdam $70,000 already in overtime, and the bill is still rising. And if you think expensive overtime investigations are an anomaly, think again.
Is it feasible for someone who works for your department to double their salary in overtime?
I have one individual who's come pretty close. Yes, it is feasible. Again, that person is at the airport, and if people don't want the overtime, he takes it.
Anything from bad weather to an unexpected presidential visit can drum up OT costs.
If President Obama wakes up tomorrow and wants to come back to the nanotech center again, that's $25,000, just like that.
And since volunteer overtime is normally offered to folks with the highest seniority first, the price of it is higher too.
Of the officers who are making the highest, are many of them close to retirement age?
One is scheduled for retirement, but he's also a detective assigned to that function of the bombing. So that fuel that certainly will be added into his pensionable pay.
Pensionable pay. In most cases, police officers and firefighters get somewhere between 55 and 65% of the salary they earned during their last 3 consecutive years on the force, and overtime is included. So why don't departments just hire more people?
Public safety benefits are through the roof. And if I've got a deputy making $80,000 right now, all right, his benefit package is probably another $55,000 to $60,000. So you really got to weigh it out.
And in the end, one way or another, we're all paying for it. Jennifer Lukey, CBS 6 News.